Welcome back, dear students, to video number 4 for Standard 6 Science. We are discussing chapter number 12. In the previous video, we saw three categories of livers: first order, second order, and third order. Let us continue with the next type of simple machine. Which is a pulley. Now take a pencil, some sticking tape, an empty reel of thread, half a meter of thick thread, and Play-Doh. Now place the pencil on the table so that it just up over the edge of the table. Fix it firmly to the table using the sticking tape. Insert the reel over the part of the pencil that juts out. Put a lump of the Play-Doh on the tip of the pencil so that the reel does not come off. Draw the thick thread having the weight at one end over this reel. So your setup should look something like this. And what you get is a homemade pulley. My dear students, this is really nice and fun. You can do this at home. So what exactly is a pulley? What happens when the loose end of the thread is held and pulled down? The weight tied at the other end gets lifted up. So what happens is when you try to pull this thread, this weight gets lifted up. It is always easier to pull something down. So downward force, my dear students, is always easier than an upward force. So less amount of force is required when we use this kind of simple machine to lift things. Such a device with a grooved wheel and a thread designed to lift weights is called a pulley. I'll repeat, it has a grooved wheel. You see this wheel? The center is slightly hollow compared to the compared to the ends. So such a wheel is called as a grooved wheel. So a device with a grooved wheel and a thread designed to lift weights is called a pulley. If we use a pulley, force can be applied in the downward direction for lifting the weight in upward direction. This is convenient and easy. So if you see, this particular lady is applying force down while the bucket is being lifted up. So this is called as downward direction of force and lifting of weight is upward. So this is easier because when we pull something down, one particular force also helps us. Can you guess which force is that? Yes, it is the gravitational force. So who helps us pull downwards? The gravitational force. So that is why it is always easier to pull something down. And this particular pulley is also used in such big cranes. You see this? This is the rope which is being pulled over here. And here is the grooved wheel. So this is an advanced pulley which is used nowadays. Now the next one, the next simple machine, my dear students, is a wheel and axle. Have you ever wondered what makes a giant wheel go around? The giant wheel is fitted at a rod at its center. This rod is called an axle. When the axle starts rotating with the help of electricity, the wheel fitted to it also starts rotating. This combination of an axle and a wheel is a simple machine. So you see this particular big giant wheel. So this rotates and there in the center is a rod. So that rod is called as an axle and this is a wheel. So together They are called as a wheel and axle. So what happens is when the axle starts rotating, the wheel also rotates. So such wheel and axle is also found in a bicycle wheel, and there's an axle. See, the steering wheel of a car. So wheel and inside there's an axle. You see this wheel and inside there's an axle. So this is another type of simple machine and we use it everywhere around us, wheel and axle. So these are different types of simple machines which we have studied. Up till now, we discussed inclined plane, wedge. A type of inclined plane is screw, then lever, wheel and axle, and pulley. Let us have a quick recap. An inclined plane is a flat surface with one end higher than the other. A wedge is an object that is thick at one end and tapered into a thin edge at the other. This is a combination of two inclined planes, if you remember. A screw is an inclined plane that is wrapped around a cylinder. So this is wrapped around an iron nail. So this is a screw. Works on the principle of an inclined plane. A lever, a straight bar that pivots on or around a fulcrum. And these are three categories of levers, if you remember, the first order, second order, and third order. Next is a wheel and axle, a wheel attached to a bar so that they rotate together, wheel and axle. And pulley, a chain, belt or rope wrapped around a grooved wheel. So this is a pulley. So these are types of simple machines which we have discussed up till now. Now most important, maintenance of machines. Parts of machines rub against one another when they are used. Soiled, dusty parts create more friction. Some parts affected by the weather rust and erode. Machines get damaged or become useless due to such wear and tear. To avoid this, it is very important to take care of machines. During the maintenance of a machine, all its parts are wiped clean. Oil or lubricant is released between parts that rub against each other so that there is less friction between them and the wearing is reduced. Machines are covered when not in use to prevent dust settling on them. To prevent the effect of weather, metallic parts in a machine are painted externally and the machines are always kept dry. Always remember, if machines are not properly maintained, they will be of no use when we actually need them. Before we use a machine, we must learn how to handle it properly so that there are no accidents. This is of utmost importance, my dear students. Now, what have we learned in this particular chapter? Machines are used for reducing effort and doing more work in less time. Some machines are simple while others are complex. The wedge, the lever, the inclined plane, the pulley and the wheel and axle are simple machines. There are three types of levers based on the position of effort, load and fulcrum. And machines should be maintained properly to keep them in good working conditions. This is all in this particular chapter, my dear students. Please read the textbook. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.